Welcome back. In today's episode, I'm going to be trying a new challenge, and that is from Pug Gaming. It says, no tiles challenge except for the ones you start with. So I'm taking that as the idea is that I can't make any new tiles, so I can't make solid tiles, I can't make insulated tiles, or gas, or mesh, or anything of that sort. I can use some ladders, but not a lot. So that's going to be the challenge that I'm trying right here from Pug Gaming. And by the way, thank you guys so much recently for all of your support. I was gone for 2 days. 2 days on a trip. I came back and there's just loads and loads of comments that I got to get through. So thank you guys so much for all the support. It's been absolutely off the charts. But I'm going to be starting off this game here with Bubbles, Devin, and Meep, my three favorite. The trifectas, the no new tiles campaign. Here we go. Alright, so here's my starting biome. Luckily for me, I've got loads of copper. Lucky. So I'm going to have to be really strategic on how I dig this stuff up. I just can't go free willy digging stuff. You know, you gotta take your time, you gotta think it through. This is gonna be an interesting challenge. Like, I didn't think it would be, I was like, I don't know, maybe not. But when you stop to think about it, the fact that you can never put a tile down in a place where you remove one, that's suddenly gonna make this kind of tricky. Now, as far as ladders, obviously you're still gonna need ladders to move around in this game. It's just not gonna be possible to not do it without ladders. Well, it might be. Like, look at this, how I want all this copper. This is great stuff. All of this right here. Good stuff. I want to be able to get to this oxygen down here. I want to be able to get to this water over there. Now, I could just dig straight down and make a ladder. That wouldn't be really that hard. However, I kind of want to treat this a little bit more like an ant farm, right? This is going to be really hard. So what I'm trying to do is come up with different paths where they can actually run and walk to get to where get to the stuff that I need, right? So I need a little bit of copper. I'm going to need the algae. I'm also going to need some food. Obviously, I'm going to have to get down here to the water at some point, which is surprisingly far down on this biome. And I'll get to like a little machine room or something over here. Yeah, this is going to be weird. All right, cool. I like it. The one hard thing about this, I can tell you this already, is going to be the decor. Obviously, not having any tiles isn't going to help anybody. So I'm going to want to get that research up, and luckily Meep is actually pretty good at making artistic things. The other thing I also got to be really aware of is these weak spots right down here, where things could just crumble and fall down. That could totally bite me. Alright, I just got the basics going now. We're digging up over here. There'll be a little engine room and stuff over there. Gotta figure out how that gas is going to flow up. Obviously, since I'm not going to have a lot of permeable tiles, what I'm going to want to do is dig a lot of vertical columns so that the air can sift up through it. You know? Think like an ant. What does that take? Oh, crap. Here's something I didn't think about. When you dig out the wires, you're gonna dig through the ground. All right. That's gonna make things a little bit harder. Oh my gosh, look at all the hatches I have. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, actually. Now, people keep telling me that these are pets. They make coal. You just gotta feed them stuff. I will not attempt to kill every hatch I see this time. I'm listening to you guys. I'm listening to your comments. I'm sure if I look it up. See? Honey's like, hatches are good pets. They eat your materials and they poop coal. So you're gonna have to so you can have an infinite coal source right there. But what about puffs? I like puffs. I can keep puffs around. I think they're awesome. So this is where I'm gonna need a ladder, because I mean there's just no other way to kind of get down here. So you get them ideas. I gotta be careful where I dig over here. I want to make sure I get all this algae. Like, I really hope they actually build in challenge modes to this game so that when you're doing stuff like this, they could just have different options, like disabled or something like that. Or you have like an increased rate of printing pods where they just produce some sort of duplicate or something like that. I think that would be a really cool idea for the developers to build into the game at some point here. I'll turn that up to 6 so all the algae is stored right next to the deoxidizer. I'm getting smart. Oh no, Meep got stuck. That's alright. I'm gonna have to be real careful about that too. I think right up here is an okay place for some research. So I think I'll try it for that. I'll add a little bit of a spot for some oxygen to go up in that area. It'll be all good. I'm also putting some strategic storage compactors around so things like copper ore are automatically delivered. That way the hatches don't eat something that I really want. I don't know if they actually eat copper, but whatever. They certainly won't in my base. That's all I'm saying. Alright, so there we go. Now I can take the power, I can go straight up here without blowing up anything. And I can do some research. Good. The first research I'm gonna do is actually interior decor. Just because I know that's gonna be my biggest challenge. And it seems like ever since the thermal update, that's been one of the things that's been really quite difficult. So, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and make a micro musher right down here by the water. A good strategy. I think that's off to a good start. Get a little bit more daring with my digging. Alright, cancel this. Try to dig out as much as possible without having collapsing. I think that'll work alright though. Alright, time for another duplicate. Whoa, who am I gonna take? Oh my gosh, they all have high decor. It's terrible. Catalina, welcome. Alrighty, just got my first research done here. Now I can go ahead and do some decor. We can brighten things up in here a little bit. Put down some nice paintings and stuff. Probably put a sculpting block in here. Maybe dig this down a little bit further. Don't really want to build a house. You're caught on sand though. That would not be good. Wherever people are going to spend some serious time, that's where I'd like to have some decor. Alright, there we go. Got a bunch queued up. So for my next research, power, plumbing, farming definitely. Trying to move the outhouse and all that stuff down here so it's a little bit out of the way. We'll do the stinky stuff over here. Make sure only my artists are doing the painting here. Both Meep and Catalina are actually both really good at that. If you look at decor, it's pretty bad. Minus 62. Yeah, it's pretty bad. We'll try to make the bathroom a more pleasant place with some sculpting blocks. You know, because why not? Alright, so organic, we want all the poop in here. There you go. Then we can deconstruct this bad boy. Alright, so let's watch this decor change here. Boom! Look at that. Look at how much better that's getting. See? It's got a decor of 12. It might take a little bit more than that. Alright, sculptor block. I'm guessing the farm's gonna end up down here just because it seems like it's already halfway there. Alright, so I've moved my algae deoxidizer down here to the bottom. Idea is trying to keep it at the lowest point and then let it build up throughout the rest of the base. That's a fair strategy. And that's got some nice sculpting blocks going in here, some mess tables on the left. Good stuff. Gosh, we gotta turn this up too. People are starting to get a little bit stressed here. Catalina, because she keeps sleeping on the ground. So far, not too bad. I got 2 hatches trapped over here. They got nowhere to go. Suckers! Good, I can even put in a couple terraniums down here. That'll be nice. How's this decor doing? It's getting a little better. There's some areas that are pretty nice. Now, come to think of it, I don't actually have a lot of algae in this one. I'm starting to run out of algae a little bit. Alright, more research done. Now I got some liquid pumps that I can go ahead and use. That'll be good. That also means I can do planter boxes. Actually, I could have done those well before, but I think it's about time to get them started. One of the little strategies I'm going to try here is I'm going to try putting like an algae terranium over here. There's not much that goes on during the day, but then they sleep at night. So I'm thinking if I could produce just a little bit of an oxygen there, you know, they won't suffocate during the night, which will be, you know, help them stress-wise, because we're starting to climb up in the stress a little bit here. I am like super speeding the game. I got 5x going on right now. Just in case you're wondering, started doing this during my experiments. I use the little cheat engine here just to really control how fast the game goes. That's all I'm using it for. I think it's a great little tool for that. I know the game does have its own built-in like debug speed modes, but I find them to be quite unstable, so this is an easy way to go faster, and then I can put more into a single episode, so that's why I'm doing it. I'm not trying to be a cheater, I'm just trying to let you know what's going on. Yeah, see how this is working? A little bit of oxygen's being created in there. But I'm interrupting their sleep right now, so that's really gonna hurt. What about decor? How's this starting to look around here? We got some pockets of decent decor. It's tough without tiles. I mean, it's gonna take a lot more than what I got. Not to mention all of this stuff over here, which isn't gonna be good. I'm gonna go ahead and deconstruct this deoxidizer here, and then just dig a little tunnel right down here so some air can get up there. A lot of people end up sucking up too much air on that right there. So Meep was just like gasping for air because he wasn't able to get enough oxygen, despite having 2 terraniums next to him. But this should let some flow. Yeah, see, they're still suffocating through the night, which isn't good. So I'm about at the point where I'm gonna have to start thinking about showers and things like that, and plumbing, and having a place for waste as well. The big thing in order to get a lot of cycles in and a really successful base is that you're gonna need to have fertilizer at this point. So I need some fertilizer up in here. Look at this. Hey, getting some better decor up in here? I've been focusing a lot on decor. I mean, it's necessary though. Otherwise, everybody's gonna start vomiting and it'll get really, really bad in here. Hey, that was the first time that they didn't suffocate during the middle of the night. Seems like this little plan here is working. It's working alright. I think report-wise, I'm not actually using any deoxidizers because I don't have enough to make that happen. I am producing more than I'm using, so... Yeah, this strategy of having the mess table over here and then having a bunch of decor around it, that's working out. I think I'm gonna have to start looking at this for another duplicate, so... Alright, let's bring in one more. Abe's got the driver's lungs. That'll be good. Problem though, a loud sleeper. Alright, whatever. We'll stick Abe over here in the corner, because he's such a loud sleeper. I'm also gonna go ahead and prioritize this area up here so I can finally dig it out. Come on, let me down there. There we go. It'd be nice to be able to travel from down here up into there. You know, so you don't have to run this whole long way every time. Yeah, see, there you go, Abe. Not enough oxygen over there. Alright, so just to read a few more comments here. Using algae farm to save algae and to remove the carbon. I mean, that actually works pretty good. Now that we have that update, and there are also things like geysers and all of these, you know, all this ice around, water is a lot more available. So it seems like it's, you know, you can consume more water at this point. Not to mention, I think you can also condense water out of the air as well. Potentially. I've heard some people talking about it. As compared to the Waterfall video, yeah, there used to be a bug in the game where if you were to deconstruct a ladder while somebody was on the ladder, they would get stuck. That's no longer a thing with the updated version of the game. At least they said they fixed it. Oh, here's a fun idea. How about gathering all the animals in the game in one place as possible? Make it like a little zoo. That would actually be pretty interesting without using cheat engine. I don't necessarily know how you would gather them. I don't know if you can spawn animals or anything like that. I like that idea. Making a big zoo. That sounds like a fun idea, a fun challenge for a video at one point. I would say currently, this is usually when I get in trouble though, because the game listens to me, that this is going pretty good so far. Like, this is working out. I will say that I am really tired that nobody has gone in here and dug this up already. Come on, prioritize this. Go! Let me just dig it up already so that we don't have to keep stopping for oxygen and stuff. And give the dude a mess table, man. He just showed up. There we go. That'll be a little bit better. Alright, so I got my power station all set up here, so I got a lot more of that. Hey, it looks like I can make my first harvest too, considering I have a serious food shortage going on. So this will be great. Actually, let's see if the harvest tool works now. At a high priority. Try to harvest all that. Run down there. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Hey, now look at the decor in this area. 135. Jeez. So I'm gonna put Meep up there, and I'm also gonna put Catalina, because those are the two most picky people. And Bubbles and Devin, you get down here. Hey, it looks like they're finally getting to work on this compost area over here. That'll be good. Research-wise, I'm gonna want to go to advanced filtration here pretty soon. Start to get those biodistillers going. As long as I get the plants and stuff, then I can have a little bit more of a power resource. Then I can get that algae. Normally, I would dig a whole lot more, which is interesting that the way I'm playing this one is that I'm not really digging that much. It's very sparingly. Who's making a mess around here? Oh no, come on now. Oh, and it's just gonna run right into our water source. Meep, what the heck, Meep? Bro, why you even do this to me? Does anybody else find this micro musher a little bit disturbing? It just looks... Alright, so one good benefit is it's got all this carbon dioxide coming down to the bottom here. So if I get the technology, I can scrub that air, and that'll be good. I can also put air cleaners right here and right there, just so when you go in to actually work on this stuff, it's all nice and clean. Don't know where I'm gonna store my contaminated water though. Oh, you know what? Here's a good spot for it. Look at this stuff. This stuff's like super dense too. Although it might end up freezing my water. I don't know, let's find out. That might not be a bad thing after all. Put our contaminated liquid right here. Boom. There we go, fire up the compost. Yeah! That'll work. Gosh, why is there so little algae on this map? I gotta like dig forever to get to it. Oh, I see you, Hatch. You're gonna eat my food, aren't you? You're gonna looking right at that mealwood. You punk! I think it's time to start moving on to the battery plan, so I can put some batteries over here, get some nice storage. You know, produce a lot of power, keep it nice and cool. And that way I can free up at least the people from running on this wheel. I got a bunch of hatches running around, so I should have plenty of coal. I mean, this thing's got tons of kilograms of just coal in it. Look at that, 9,483 kilograms of coal. That should be pretty good. At least I'd hope so. Let's see here, let's plan this out real good. I need batteries. And it's gonna need to like drip down in a couple of spots, then absorb that heat, if it's possible. It's hard because you can't build anything on it, you know? So the water will drip here, cascade, drip over, then hopefully come back over here and back down towards the water. That's the idea. So if I dig this out correctly, then I just need to dig here. And right there. And that should do it for me. Oh, but I got sand there, so that's not gonna work. So I'll just move it up one. How about that? But then I need to get over here, so we'll do this number. Just like so. Alright, so the idea of power generation, I'm gonna try to put a coal generator. Drop that sucker right there. And then we'll try to dig down to it. Like, whoop, not like that. Like so. And I'll do that same sort of drip cooling method right there. So that should be good. And since I'm here, I'll just do this number to bridge the two areas. Just like so. Now somebody get to work. I do need that water pretty soon. Starting to run low. Got a lot of these geraniums. Pumping out oxygen, but they do consume a lot of water. I didn't notice this before, but things like ration boxes, I noticed that they have like polluted air. That actually works against it, like polluted atmosphere. So you gotta keep that stuff under control. I never thought about that. I don't think I ever noticed it. All right, so I think we're gonna try to at least get this waterfall thing done by the end of this episode. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but we gotta make all that happen. Cycle 35 or so might be the end of it. Just looks like Catalina. She's the only one that still is a little bit stressed out. That number keeps kind of doing this. It's not it's not staying down real low, but I think I'm doing a fair job of keeping that stress level down. Trying to think of where else I could put things that are gonna help increase this decor even more. I mean, look at this area, 110, that's pretty good. Right down here, this thing could finally get done. I suppose I could just flip the plan up and actually put all of this stuff here, over here in the cold area. That would actually probably be a better idea. But I can do that later. For now, I'm sticking to this plan. That would actually probably be a good place for my biodistillers to kind of sit down in here and do that work. Maybe I could just branch it right off of here. That way I got the power available to it right over here. And just do it. Uh-oh, this isn't good. Bubbles is trapped. Luckily there's enough oxygen down there she'll be able to get out of there, I think. Let's see if I can get her to dig out. Oh, come on, dig. Come on, Bubbles, you can do it! Dig! Yeah, she's gonna get out. They'll be fine. Oh, Bubbles, you're gonna make a mess. I can feel it. No, there it is. Oh well. The one bad thing about these like terraniums is that it takes a lot of running around to fill them up with water and stuff like that. So they're really not an efficient thing to have in your base. I mean, at least I don't think so. Not compared to like having an electrolyzer, which maybe is the right decision to now, considering I don't want to use all that stuff. So let's see if I can get some research for that. Ooh, that's a lot. I don't know, I guess I gotta make a choice. Do I go with that? Or do I try to finish this? I mean, right now everybody's sucking up this like crap water and delivering it, and it takes forever. Look at, they just get stuck in this cycle. It's like a whole day wasted. Come on, go over here. This is where the clean stuff is. You can move more. Now they all stepped in contaminated water because that's what they thought of. Lame. Alright, just get rid of this stuff. It's driving me nuts. There you go. Mop it up. Looks like if I leave this right here, people can actually jump up on like one tile right there. That's always good to know, actually. I wasn't quite sure how they would navigate, but I'm learning. It's one of the positive things about doing this sort of weird challenges. You kind of learn how to navigate the dirt, I suppose. I haven't had anybody get stuck this time, except for, well, I mean, Bubbles got stuck down there because she deconstructed herself into a pit, but besides that, it's worked out pretty good. Can't tell you the amount of times I've lost a duplicate because somebody got stuck. Alright, a little storage compactor right down here full of coal. What I could do is I can dump this one out. Boom, just like that. Put a sweet priority on this one, like high level. I'm gonna go ahead and put these liquid valves in there, just like this. And this way, when I go to pump inside of here, I can just turn the volume way down, so that way the pump doesn't have to run constantly, and it'll create a nice little drip. I could do like 32 grams a second or something like that. And it'll just go nice and slow. And crap, I dug up too much here, but I think it'll be alright. I did it again. I took my eye off the ball a little bit when it came to these oxygen production stuff. Queued everything up a little bit too high. Want to make sure I'm delivering to this. Meep will save me. He's gonna deliver. That's his only job at the moment. Crap, I got all this polluted gas up here too. Alright, just gotta finish the pump here and then I can get this thing running. Alright, there we go. Whoa, that sucker's running full on. So what you can do here, now that this is actually running, I'll turn this down to 20, look at that, right down there to the bottom. 27 grams per second right there. The absolute minimum, whatever that first number is, you can get to. And this will create a small drip, which will cool your coal generator, your batteries, and stuff like that. And since you can pump in, I think whatever it is, like 10 kilograms into each spot of this down here or something like that, it has 7.5 kilograms of water. That will just take a really, really long time for it to kind of flow out of that pipe. So your pump doesn't run constantly. You'll see it'll turn off here pretty soon. That way you can keep this stuff nice and cool, and it drips right back down into here, so it's kind of a self-cooling sort of situation. So you see how that turned off now? Even though it looks like water's still flowing out of here, the actual pump itself isn't running. And if you look at the temperature, I mean, this will keep it nice and cool. Alright, well there you have it. I think I made some pretty good progress here in this first episode of the No New Tiles sort of challenge. It's a fun challenge in that it's very organic. Your layout has to kind of work on whatever sort of terrain you got here. Try to dig as much as possible to wherever you need to go without using, you know, the minimum amount of ladders as possible. I think it's interesting, and I like the challenge. I'll continue it in another video in the future here, so thank you so much for that recommendation, by the way, and also for all the comments and supports you guys have been leaving lately. It's been absolutely awesome. And so far, I think running this game at right around 5x, I think this is pretty good. It's a good amount of content that I can squeeze into one episode. You know, so we're not just seeing 10 cycles, and we're seeing 40 cycles in one episode. So, you know, a whole series might be 3 episodes at this point. So, I like that. It's a pretty good amount of time compression. Obviously, I'll do some more experiments as well, and there's a ton of recommendations from you guys on that, so no shortage of ideas flowing in at the moment. So thank you guys so much for all of this. If I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. I'll see you again next time. Stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out.